Alright, so I'm going to go over the gold market, the recent trend in the gold market, and what happened. Well, it was in an uptrend, and then what happened was, there was heavy volume, and then a 1, 2, 3 up thrust and a break, not a break, but a pullback to support on heavy volume. The volume here is 38. Now, the important part is that right afterwards, it tried to bounce, but it couldn't even bounce. It was so weak, and it thrust it down, and that's where the sell signal came. Broke support, big thrust, good spread, and then it had follow through. At this point, you're thinking, I want to get in. Where do I get in? Obviously, you want to get in on, a pullback or something near the high, so you can put a stop above the high. This is the area, but it doesn't give that to you. Instead, it goes up to here, and then it breaks. Okay, this I think was on Monday. When it breaks, it's a critical moment, because at this moment it really has nothing to do with the technicals. It has something to do with the psychology. If you wanted to get in here, because you think that there's going to be a retest near the high or whatever, and you quote unquote miss the trade, and then it does something like this, it does something like this, and you're banging your head and saying, why didn't I short, the test of support? That's the problem. This is a psychological issue where you think you missed the move and kind of judge or beat yourself up a bit and say, why didn't I do this or why didn't I do that? I should have done this and I should have done that. But the thing with markets is that they have a tendency to test and retest. Alright, so over here, when it does something like this, and it trades lower especially, the idea is not to think that, okay, I missed the move, I'll get the next one, or worse, where you're like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that, I suck, or whatever. No, the point here is, this is an edge. Always remember in your mind, the market has a tendency to test and retest. So this is an edge, meaning there's heavy selling. You have heavy selling area, it's an edge to sell against a heavy selling area. Alright, it has a big thrust, the biggest thrust there is. The biggest thrust there is, it's clearly a downtrend going lower. What do you want to do? Sell the retest of that thrust. That's an edge, to sell the retest of that thrust. Break down is an edge. So you put the order here and a stop above here. It gets tagged and the market breaks. Alright, so the point here is, even though you're getting a signal here and you're unable to enter in here, don't think the market has gone. Markets have a tendency to test and retest. And when you quote unquote miss the trade, immediately correct that psychology from thinking that, oh, I missed the trade, to where can it retest? Where can it retest? Believing that you missed the trade will make you, will actually make you miss the trade. Believing you missed the trade will make you miss the trade. Whereas understanding that you really don't know whether it's going to come back or not, or whether you quote unquote miss the trade. So never try to predict market direction. Instead, look at what the market has done. It has proved itself to the downside, and then after that, just look for where the edge is to place your order. The edge is obviously here because it's the biggest selling bar there is. That's a selling pressure. That's where you want to put your order. So the sabotage occurs. The self-sabotage occurs when you think that the market has already gone, or the market kind of didn't give that to me and it should have done this, or I should have done that. That part of the mind, that really needs to be worked on, because that really will result in missing trades. Instead of seeing how perfectly the market just came back and tested, and then from that area it just collapsed, and went down to the 1270 level. So this is more of, market gives you a signal, breaks down. Once it breaks down, a lot of folks will be looking at this, and at this point, they already think they missed a move. You don't miss a move. You got to do is ask yourself, where will it retest? Where will it test? And if you quote unquote miss it, where will it retest? Where can it retest? Where is the edge in order to put your order? And if it does or doesn't, it doesn't matter. It's just the idea is to be consistent, and you're going to get enough trades. Whereas if you believe that you missed the move, you don't try to put it on in the first place, and you really do miss the move. So replacing the idea, be conscious first of all of the idea that comes to mind, saying, I missed this, I should have done this and did that type of idea. Switching that to saying, where's the next edge? What is my risk? Has the market proved itself? Yes. Does the market have a tendency to test, and retest again? It does. So there's the thinking, the difference in thinking of a pro versus a noob, who will just think that I should have shorted this, and now it's here and I missed this, or I should have even shorted the high. That's crazy, versus a pro who realizes that you don't really miss any trades at all, because markets give new trades almost every single day. So there's no such thing as a missed trade. There is no such thing as a missed trade, because after this there's going to be another trade in crude, there's going to be another trade in the euro, there's going to be another trade in the equities. So there's no such thing as a missed trade, and reconfiguring your mind to think in a certain way so that you're able to capitalize on the retest after the market has proved itself and totally broken down, and understanding that it's going to give you an opportunity. You just have to be patient and not self-sabotage yourself. So 3 places again where the self-sabotage occurs. After this break, when the market goes here, this will be one area of self-sabotage where you're like, oh, I missed this, I should have done this, whatever. Second place would be if you didn't have your order right here on the test of the breakdown. This is the second place that the self-sabotage occurs. Oh, I should have done this and I should have done that and whatever. Okay, this is 1, this is 2. Instead of that, what you want to do is, when this breaks, is look at the minimum amount of risk, put the order. If it fills, it fills, doesn't, and just get ready for the next trade. And that this really goes into a different area of what trading really is, which is it's more of a psychological game than a technical game. Anyway, done. Thank you very much.